Hey everybody, this is John, and E3 is now over. So like last year, I'm going to talk about the top 5 games that got me really excited at E3. So we're not going to waste any time and go right on into it. Number 5, it was Dishonored II. I was a big fan of the original Dishonored game, and I'm really excited to see a sequel come about. The way the game ended wasn't really the most riveting part of it. The journey was where it was at, but the idea that you could do multiple paths, find different ways to get to your objective, was really the most fun. You could play through the same level over and over again, each time doing something just a little bit different, trying a new power, trying a new style, a new approach, anything you really wanted to. It was really neat that you didn't actually have to kill. You had the option to play the entire game completely kill-free, being able to just capture somebody, and I think you sent them off to a prison or something like that. I never did. I went on a full murder spree. Playing that game with no killing is extremely difficult. So Dishonored 2, though, it's going to take years later, and you have the choice to either play as Corvo or Empress Emily Caldwell now. Emily was a character that you were trying to protect and save in the last game, but is now the Empress. It looks like they're going to have both their own set of skills, their own abilities, and I don't know if the choice is going to really kind of vary how you go through the game or the decisions you make accordingly, but it looks like it's going to be a ton of fun. Some of the abilities they showed actually in the trailers and in the gameplays, like Domino, the ability to mark multiple targets, and then if you do one thing to a single target, all other targets dominoed to them will take the same effect. It's going to make clearing out rooms a lot easier. It just looks like a ton of fun. As always, the world is insane. It's different. It's just vibrant with all these different looks and styles, and it's a world that I just want to learn more about every single time I play through it. Luckily for me, I don't have to wait too long for the game to come out. It'll be out in November of this year, and I'm sure I'm going to be spending hours playing the game. Whether I'll do 1 playthrough, 2 playthroughs, 3 playthroughs, maybe this time I'll actually try to go through and win without killing anybody, but that seems pretty unlikely. But either which way, guys, Dishonored 2 is my top 5 game of E3. My 4th game for E3 is Gwent! Alright, I'm super excited about this. I actually haven't beaten Witcher 3 yet, but the reason I haven't actually beaten it yet is because I've spent far too many hours playing Gwent. I'm a huge fan of card games. I've played all kinds of card games on actual tabletops. I play a ton of Hearthstone, and Gwent was just so much fun. And the ability to now play against other people is going to be super exciting. I guarantee that I'm going to get just destroyed left and right. All the different gameplays they've shown has made it look like they've added different mechanics. They've tried to make the game a bit more broad. I'm sure there are a ton of cards that they added that were never actually in Witcher's 3. If you look at it, they've got 4 different factions you can play as now, and they all look like they're going to have their own distinct flavor, their own way of playing. So you can kind of find the playstyle that fits for you, or you can just do a little bit of everything, I'm sure. One of the very cool things they know that they added is there's going to be a full-blown single-player campaign through Gwent. You can apparently go on quests. It was compared to Witcher itself, so going through playing games, quests, doing all these different things, and your cards are supposed to represent an army. So you're supposed to be gathering forces, which are these cards, and I guess invading. That's the only thing I can think you really do with an army, or defending. Maybe you're a good guy. I guess the story will probably actually vary depending on the faction that you're playing. I know that the Gwent beta is supposed to be sometime in September, I think that they said, and you can sign up for it now. It was one of the first things I did after the E3 press conference. I just want to play this game. I don't know how many of my friends actually care about this, but I know I'll be online playing a ton on Xbox and or PC. I think they even said it's going to be the whole cross-platform play that Microsoft is really toting very heavily. So yeah, Gwent. It's going to be a ton of fun. I'm going to lose a lot of hours, and let's hope whatever microtransaction is in place doesn't completely break me. Number 4, guys, Gwent. Number 3. So, South Park: The Fractured But Whole was on my list from last year, and being that it's not out yet, of course it's going to be on my list this year. It was cool to see Matt Stone and Trey Parker again showing up, talking about the game. It looks like it's going to be a ton of fun. The new combat system is going to add some movement aspects to it, which the game needs. The combat was pretty bland the first time around, so any kind of addition looks like it's going to be great. I think there's going to be multiple character classes that you can play, so there's going to be a bit more variety than your 4 from before, and I think superheroes is going to be a great setting. In the video, they show the new kid picking the speedster class, but you can see there's multiple ones that are kind of grayed out. I don't know if they're going to be unlocked through playthroughs or if they'll all be available at the same time and what they're all going to be, but it should be a ton of fun. The story, as always, looks hilarious. They've put their own brand of South Park humor in it. The whole trailers, every single time, they had me laughing. The idea that the kids are trying to create their own Marvel franchise universe is just a fantastic storyline point. Looking at Cartman's board, I actually paused it to look at all of the things that Cartman had on his board for Phase 1, Phase 2, and Phase 3, and how they're trying to follow the Marvel formula to create their billion-dollar franchise. I thought was really, really funny. Of course, plenty of jokes at pop culture references today, comparing Marvel and DC and making those jokes. And when the boys start their civil war a bit early, outside of their Phase 3 plans, Cartman, of course, isn't too happy about the fracturing of it, but I guess it's whole. So the big reveal at the very end, though, is that Cartman brings out his secret weapon, which I think I actually cheered when I watched the video, because it's PC Principal, which from the last season of South Park I thought was the funniest character that they had in a long time. The character that I hated in the beginning, but quickly turned it out to be one of my favorites. Fracture Butthole is going to be out this December, I think, and I'm going to be sure to pick that up, and I'll be playing that for a good amount of time. I'm sure I'll do one or two playthroughs, and I'm going to get all the Chim Pokemon this time, instead of missing that one that I missed last time. So yeah, Fracture Butthole, guys. It's going to be great. Which is the only time you'll say that about a butthole.
How could the person you trust do that to the only other person you love?
Cartman, everyone's dad fucked everyone's mom.
Alright, number 2. Number 2 is the Sea of Thieves. They talked a little bit about it at E3 last year, but gave like zero information. I think it was just a small trailer, and that's all that they said, that it was being made by Rare. This year, they talked a lot more about it, and the actual gameplay trailer they showed with the community members that came in really sold the game to me, even though it didn't really show anything at all. If you take a second and think about it, it showed you a cool cartoony world that you could kind of run around and do what you want. You could sail the seas with your ships, you could get drunk in a bar, you could go swimming. The fighting, though, between the two ships was what really grabbed me. I thought that it was really neat to see two crews duking it out at the high seas, doing broadsides, crashing into each other. It just looked like a game that I feel like could be a ton of fun. I just imagine getting 3-4 friends, hitting the high seas, doing quests, raiding NPC merchant ships for money, finding buried treasure, swimming with mermaids, fighting zombie crew, just anything. I love the idea that it's so open and so huge. The big thing, though, is that they didn't really tell much. I saw a couple of interviews, and there was a really good one between one of the designers and the Rooster Teeth community. And they asked him a lot of questions that I personally really wanted to know the answer to, but unfortunately most of the things he said was that he couldn't quite talk about it yet. I don't know if my excitement is super justified on this one, but it's still there. I can't wait to play this game. I actually love the cartoony aesthetics. I've been a Rare fan since the Nintendo 64, and they really haven't done a ton that's really grabbed me in the last couple of years. So I really hope that this one is going to be the game to get me excited for the company again. I want to know a lot more, and I hope there'll be a lot more to talk about. I don't think they put a release date for this game, so I really doubt that it's going to be this year. I'm going to assume it's going to be more of a 2017 launch, but I really hope to see it out before the next E3. They talked about a technical beta, maybe? I think that's what they said. So there's going to be something, and I'm going to do everything I can to be part of it. I really want to see this game succeed. I really want to know more about it, and if it's even half as fun as those community members made it look when they were playing through, it's going to be a great time. It's going to be a game that I'm going to be spending a lot of hours in front of on my Xbox One, and I'm going to have to convince my friends to hit the high seas with me. So my second favorite game of E3 was Sea of Thieves. Yo-ho. My number one game of E3 was very simple for me. It's Titanfall 2. I played a lot of Titanfall 1. Not as much as Mark, who I think is just on his tail end of hitting Gen 10. But it was a game that I loved. It's what I wanted. I was a big Call of Duty fan at the time when the games were coming out, and hearing that the original, a lot of the creators from Respawn were going to make a brand new first-person shooter, and that they were going to throw mechs in it was all I needed to be a huge fan. I watched that cinematic trailer for Titanfall 1 over and over and over and over and over, all of it so many times. For people that know me, I am a big fan of mecha when it comes to anime, so I'm a big Gundam fan, things like that. So anytime that I can get behind a giant robot and just wreck shit is something that I'm always for. The game looks great. The multiplayer trailer was fast, it was fluid like we expected from it. There were all kinds of new weapons and abilities and titans and grappling hooks and all this stuff that I want to get my hands on. I want to see how you can use them. A lot of interviews were talking about how the one thing that they felt like people were asking for more than anything else was just more unlocks, more things. There wasn't a ton of weapons in Titanfall 1, there was only so many abilities. But for a game that came out from a brand new studio that probably had to get out a little bit faster than they wanted to, it's perfectly fine. It was a great game, and I always, even when playing Titanfall 1, I kept on saying I couldn't wait for Titanfall 2 to come out, to learn one from 1 and just be amazing in 2, and I have a feeling that's what this is going to be. They talked a little bit about some of the stuff. Like I said, the grappling hook is a big deal. They show that extensively in the trailers. The little ninja star that like sucked people in, like a Zarya ult, looks awesome. That's going to be probably an immense pain in the ass. They talked about 3 Titans total, the Ion, the Scorch, and the Ronin. So I think it's one of each of the chassis. Scorch being a big heavy guy that lights stuff on fire. The Ronin being the fast-moving one with a sword and like a little phase ability. And the Ion, which is like the medium chassis that just basically Iron Man's somebody with a chest laser in the front. It looks awesome. Of course, the big news that I know a lot of people are excited for is that they're adding a full-blown single-player campaign this time around. I don't care, I guess. I was one of the few people that wasn't super upset there wasn't a single player in the last game. But I'm not going to complain about getting more. It's a very cool world. I'd love to know more about it. And playing through the story should be a ton of fun. It's supposed to be about a man and his mech. Which, the first thing that came to my mind when I heard that was that Respawn is going to make me fall in love with my mech and then they're going to blow it up. There's my prediction, like right now, that mech's gonna die, or I'm gonna die, or something's gonna happen, and they're gonna try to make me cry about a giant robot, and they may succeed. I guess I'll have to wait and see on that one. But Titanfall 2 is this year as well. I think they're also doing a technical beta, but I don't really have any idea on dates or anything about that. It's a game that I'm going to be playing a ton. I know Mark's going to be playing a ton, and I think the discussion of whether I need to buy it on the PC or the Xbox One is going to be a long conversation with my entire group of friends to make sure that we're all on the same page. I'm super excited for Titanfall 2. I can't even talk. Like, that's how much I want to play this game. Alls I know, if you look at a lot of these games that I'm interested in, they're going to be coming out this year, so my bank account is going to suffer no matter what. Guys, this was a great E3. It was actually really hard to do just top 5 in this one around. I don't even own a PlayStation 4, but there were like at least 2 to 3 games that actually almost made this list because I really, really want to play them. It's just hard to drop money on another console. EA's press conference was good. Bethesda's was fantastic. Microsoft's was great. Sony's was great. It was an awesome E3. And no matter what you want to play or what console you like or what style of game, there was something for everybody. And I feel like that's a point of like a good company, is that everyone has that thing that they love and they can play it. So there's my little preachy moment at the back end of this. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Tell me what your favorite E3 announcements were down in the comments below. As always, like, subscribe, tell your friends. We love you all. We'll see you guys next time.